Hello, everyone. My name is Shah Mustafa, and I'm a co-founder and co-CEO at Correlation One. I'm excited to tell you more about Correlation One's Computer Support Specialist program for Amazon Associates. But before I get started, I want to start with two stories. These are stories of your peers, your associates. These were Amazon associates who took Correlation One's training program, worked really hard, and were able to change the career trajectory and land amazing jobs shortly after they finished the training. These stories are important because these folks were in your shoes not long ago, just a few months ago, but they took their shot, they worked hard, and they were able to create a new future for themselves. And these are the stories which inspire us and help us this is the reason why we do what we do. Let's start with Jerry. Jerry told us, when I first joined the Correlation One training program, I was not confident in my technical skills at all. I had never used Excel or written a line of code, so it was intimidating when I started. I asked myself several times if I could do it, but I decided to give my 100% and not give up. I was lucky to have some amazing instructors and a dedicated coach who was with me every step of the way. I ended up finding a job I love as an analyst with United Airlines. The next story is from Eric. Eric told us, I would have given up looking for a new career if not for Correlation One training. I loved the program. In particular, my career success coach, Jody, encouraged me to give it my all. Before working with her, I felt I had hit a wall in my career, but the program inspired me to apply to new roles, even if I didn't have the confidence or get interviews at first. Sure enough, not long after graduation, I landed a role with FDM Group. There are hundreds and hundreds of stories like this, and we hope that you would become one of these success stories for us. Let's begin. Our plan for today, we will go over 4 sections. First, we're going to talk about jobs in the computer support specialist ecosystem. Why is this a good career choice for you? What are the reasons that you should take this training track seriously? Then we'll talk about Correlation One's unique training and professional development based approach. We'll talk about the specifics of this training program. And finally, we'll talk more about how to apply for this program. Let's get started. Computer support specialist training will open doors for your first job in technology. In the US, there are about 6 million jobs in the IT support sector, with an annual growth of over 5% year over year. Computer support skills are now necessary to millions and millions of jobs. More importantly, these are well-paying jobs. The average salary for a computer support specialist in the US is around $58,000. Now, what are these jobs? What industry? As I mentioned before, this is across every single industry. In finance and insurance, you would work as a tech or a technical support specialist, a LAN operator or administrator, IT consultant. At Amazon, there are roles like IT technician, IT support associate. Broadly in IT, there's information technology specialist, network installer, and there are roles in administrative support. Some of the titles include PC user support, help desk analyst, customer support engineer, and then there are roles in professional services, such as help desk analyst or technician, computer user support specialist. This is just a sampling. There's roles in every possible sector within the broader economy. We just wanted to give you a sense of the roles you would be eligible for after you complete the training. So what would you do on the job? What does your everyday job look like? Broadly, there are three distinct skills or roles you'll be prepared for. One is to problem solve. To give you an example, you would be working with a team or on a team to identify and diagnose issues with software and hardware, including remote viewing technology. You would work on end user resolution. This would be working live with end users and resolving their tech support tasks, such as connecting to devices or recovering lost data. Another element is cyber monitoring, where you would work on a team to constantly stay up to date on trends such as optimal network development and cybersecurity. Just wanted to give you some examples of the types of roles and the type of functions you would perform on the job. Now, let's talk about Correlation One's approach. Why is that we're different? And I'll tell you more. So, Correlation One, our mission is to create equal access to jobs of tomorrow and unlock diverse human potential at scale. Correlation One only focuses on high-growth job families of the future, where there are hundreds of thousands of jobs in the economy. We focus on skills where our training is anywhere from 14 to 20 weeks. We will teach you everything that you would need to learn to find a new job. And we also don't assume any prior existing skills for any of the training that we run. Correlation One works with leading enterprises of today. Obviously, we work with Amazon. We are one of Amazon's largest training partners for Amazon Career Choice Program. In 2022, we trained close to 2,000 Amazon associates. We also work with other companies such as Johnson & Johnson, Deloitte, Ernst & Young, Target, Accenture, Citi, Morgan Stanley, Ally, Walmart, Match Group, Bloomberg, close to 100 enterprises. Now, we work with these enterprises and we train their own employees. Now, those are the lessons. So we know what these large employers are recruiting for. We know the skills, we know the types of profiles they're looking for, we know the type of experience they're looking for. And so we bring in all those insights into our training program. And our goal, how do we define success? We define success not by the number of people we train. We define success by the number of people we help to land new jobs. That is our success metric. And we'll tell you more about how we do this later on in the presentation. Correlation One is rated as the world's highest digital skills training platform. Don't hear it from this is directly from a website called coastreport.com. It's a neutral third-party website where past graduates of training programs, hundreds of training providers around the world, are ranked by their alums. Correlation One received a rating of 4.94 on a scale of 5 from over 560 reviews. In our view, we are rated as the highest training provider because we obsess over outcomes. These are job outcomes for our learners. That's what sets us apart. And so we urge you to go and read these reviews if you're interested, to get a sense of how we have helped our students land jobs. We also received a number of recent awards, including a recognition from LinkedIn. LinkedIn rated Correlation One as number 6 on LinkedIn's list of top startups in the US. We were also recognized by Fast Company's 2022 list as a world-changing idea. We mention these recognition here because to us, all this recognition is a reflection of the effort and our singular focus on getting job outcomes for our learners. So the next section, we're actually going to talk about the Correlation One training program and our unique approach when it comes to training and job placement. So There are 4 components of our training program. Number 1 is the actual hard skills training. The second component is our career coaching. We consider this to be as important as our technical skills training. Then we will talk about Correlation One's jobs marketplace. Once you complete the training and career coaching, what happens? How do we connect you to jobs? We'll talk about that. And finally, we'll talk about the certification process. Let's get started with training. There are 3 components to Correlation One's training program. Number 1, the training is practical. What I mean by that is 100% of our curriculum is business case based. In other words, we won't just teach you a skill. We will first tell you how that skill is going to help you solve a business problem. As I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, we work with dozens and dozens of large enterprises, and we help train their own employees. Now, our goal for this training is when you graduate, you will have a toolkit, and depending on which company you work for, you will have a set of tools that you would be able to apply from day 1 on your new job. And our goal is to give you a robust set of toolkits. And we do this by making sure that every single part of our training program is highly practical. And you're not just being trained on academic concepts, you're trained on real business problems that businesses face today. The second component of our training, it's highly interactive. We believe you learn best by doing. So what we mean by that is our training program will have lectures, but about half the work that you would do when it comes to our training is you would actually do projects. You will have exercises where you're not just passively watching videos and learning, you're actively problem solving. It is also highly interactive. Every single one of you will be placed in a learning team. Every learning team will have a dedicated teacher, trainer, and at the end of the training, there will be a big project that you'll be working towards. So we make it highly interactive, so you're not learning on your own. We believe that learning is best done as a group, as a community. That's how people learn best, and this is going to be a very interactive learning experience. Finally, flexibility. As I mentioned before, we trained close to 2,000 Amazon associates last year. And we understand that you all have very busy lives. You have your jobs at Amazon, you have your family, you have other interests or commitments outside work. And so we understand that you have a very limited amount of time. So that's why we have structured our training program in a way that it works for you. So flexibility is the other component of our training program, and I'll walk you through our actual schedule. Let's talk about the curriculum. What are you actually going to learn as part of this training? So this is not an exhaustive list, but just to give you a sample, you will learn about software and hardware installation. You're going to learn about customer service and real-time issue tracking. You're going to learn about Active Directory, remote support, network security, virtualization, troubleshooting, technical support, desktop support, peripheral devices, and connections. To give you an example case study, you might work on, there will be a case on remote support. You will learn how to support customers remotely and practice using real-time screen sharing and TeamViewer. There will be a case around network security, where you will explore how to connect and protect a network using different network devices such as hubs, bridges, and more. Just wanted to give you a flavor of the curriculum. This is not exhaustive. There are other things we'll cover. Now, what is the program duration and what's the time commitment? The training will run for 16 weeks. And what we expect from you is a 6-hour commitment. We understand this is a lot, but to change your career trajectory, to create a future where you have potential to keep growing, it requires a lot of effort. It requires a lot of hard work. So we want to be upfront with what we expect from you. The 6 hours, it's going to be divided into two 90-minute lectures and 3 hours of flex work. The flex work are, exercises, assignments that you would do on your own. You could also be working with the group. So the all-in expected time commitment for 16 weeks on an average is around 6 hours a week. Now, the second component of our training program is our career coaching. We take this very, very seriously. For context, right? Our goal is to prepare you for your first tech job. Now, that requires transition. It's not just the hard skills or technical skills. It requires a lot of work preparing you for this journey. So to do that, we will pair you with a career success coach from day one of the program. Your career success coach will always be there to meet your needs and to answer your questions. The support that they provide you is going to be highly personalized. You're not a statistic. You should not be treated like one. So our career success coach will work with you to understand what makes you unique. What are your goals? What are your aspirations? What are your needs? What is your why? Why are you taking this training program? Clearly, you're motivated by a better future. So our career success coach will work with you to understand your goals, to help create a unique career goals plan, which will include things like, when do you want to find a job? What are your dream employers? How do you actually start applying for jobs? How many jobs do you need to apply every week to hit your goal? What are your compensation expectations? And all these, you won't have to do this on your own. Your career success coach will work with you. They'll do everything for you, including helping you write your resume, helping you write your cover letter, helping you to create a LinkedIn profile that will get employers' attention. They will help you with interview prep. They will help you with your job search strategy. And they will also help you finally with negotiating your salary. So one of the most important stakeholders that you'll be working with throughout the course of the program is your career success coach, and you would have access to them from day one. Moving on, the next element is jobs. You've completed your training. You have been connected with the career success coach who would have gotten you ready for your job search by making sure your resume and your cover letter are in top form, making sure you have the right keywords in your resume, and you've done all of the groundwork. What happens next? It's actually connecting you with jobs. Now, there are a couple of different tools that Correlation One helps users to help you connect with jobs. The first one is the proprietary jobs marketplace. Correlation One has existing relationships with hundreds of employers who have agreed to come to Correlation One's jobs marketplace and post jobs, and they've also agreed to meet with, interview the students that we graduate. So in other words, after you graduate from our program, you will have access to Correlation One's proprietary jobs marketplace, through which we will be connecting you to jobs. Now, we will also help you to identify other jobs you can apply on your own, and we have tools to make sure that you're staying on track. To make sure that we help you reach your career goals. But in addition to those external resources, we have internal resources, including our own proprietary jobs marketplace. All this requires a lot of hard work, but our commitment to you is we will always go above and beyond to make sure that we're supporting in you and your journey. But we also need you to put in your share of the work. And so this is a partnership. So this is, again, we'll talk more about the jobs marketplace and all of these other tools when you start the program. Our goal here is to give you a preview of all the resources that are available for you when you join one of our training programs. To keep moving, the final element is certification. There are There are requirements to graduate from the program. We expect you to attend all the lectures. We understand if you may have to miss a lecture here or there, life happens. We're flexible with that. We also record all the lectures to make sure we help you catch up in case you have to miss any particular class. There are also requirements around projects that you have to submit and a final deliverable. Once you meet these requirements, you will get a certification. For learners who go above and beyond, work hard, do really well on all these requirements, they will also get an honors certification. Now, it's the reason you should do all this is because employers recognize certification from Correlation One. They understand the value of the certification. So when you graduate, you will get this certificate that is recognized by a broad network of employers, which will help you in your job search process. So that's the ultimate goal. So this is what I had to share about certification. Now let's talk about how do you apply? What is the process? What are the logistics involved? So entry is merit-based. What this means is we are offering 5 different programs for Amazon Career Choice. Now, for every single one of these programs, we get a lot more applications than we're able to accommodate. And the reason we do this is because we want to be sure that for every student that we admit into our program, we're able to get them a job. And so that's the reason we have a merit-based entry process. I'll tell you a little bit about the process in a second. So there's a 2-step application process. Step number 1 is a written application. The written application will take about 15 minutes. Our goal for this section is to learn more about you. We want to know you. We want to know your past experiences. Not that you don't need to have any particular type of experience, but we can guarantee you any experience you had in the past, any experience you have right now will actually be useful in your future job search. So we want to understand your experience better. We also want to know your aspirations. Why are you choosing to apply for this particular program, right? The more we know about you, the more helpful we can be, the better matchmaking we can do with the career success coach who understands your background. And so that's the reason we ask for these questions. The next step is a skills assessment. Now, every time I use the word assessment, it scares people. There is absolutely no reason to be scared. We'll tell you a little bit about the application process in a second. So the assessment you have 45 minutes to complete the assessment. There are 12 questions. These are multiple choice questions. And the topic of these questions it could be computer literacy. It could be interpreting charts and graphs. It could be information processing. It could be logical reasoning. Now, our goal for this assessment is to make sure that we understand where you stand today, right? We don't expect any of you to know anything we teach, right? Like some of you will know a lot of things, but our goal, we don't assume any prerequisites. Everything that you would need to pick up the technical skills and to help you land a job, we will teach you everything that you need. But we use this assessment as a way to, one, make sure that you have basic foundational skills like how to use a computer. That's important, as well as it helps us to customize the curriculum. Now, what I mean by that is, for instance, if we know as a class, as a cohort, some skills are lacking, then we can increase the content in those areas. It helps us to customize the curriculum, also based on the feedback we receive from our employer partners. Some employers we know would require skills X, Y, and Z. So if we know where you stand right now, we can actually train you for the difference, and that's the reason we have this assessment step. So don't be afraid, don't be scared of the assessment. If you take the time to read through the questions, answer the questions to the best of your abilities, we are confident that you will do well. Now, in terms of the process itself, Both the written application and the skills assessment will take you less than 1 hour. And this will help us to know you better, to know your skills better, so we can create a curriculum that will give you not only an amazing learning experience, but will actually help you prepare for real jobs. And as far as our decision goes, we have the ability to start admitting qualified applicants within 24 hours after they apply. In some cases, will probably take up to 2 weeks, just to make sure that we review all the applications thoroughly. So pretty quick turnaround. We want to be respectful of your time, and so we try to get back to all the applicants as soon as we can. In terms of the next steps, we encourage all of you to apply today. You have all already taken the first step when it comes to changing your career trajectory. And so by your attending, you're taking the time to review this presentation. You've taken the time to explore Amazon's career catalog. So congrats on taking that first step. My request to you is take the next step, and get started today. There is absolutely no time like today. So feel free to go and scan this QR code or click the bit.ly link here. It's bit.ly/Amazon-CSS. And this is all I had to say. I am really, really looking forward to reading your application. And I really hope that we all get to work together. We hope to see you as a student in one of the programs. And I want to wish you the best for 2023, and looking forward to seeing your application. All the best. Thank you for your time.